Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah. Vance, what's going on, man?
What's up, doctor? What is going on, doctor?
Man, listen, it's another day in the office, man. It's another day to have fun. Another day to see. Here's the thing, Vince. Every week, I have now made it a mission to give the SK Nation a much better experience on this show than watching Raw. You in?
Yes.
Are you in?
Same thing. I do the same thing with my watch along, bro. They have so much fun with me on Twitch with my watch along. We could give two craps about the show.
Yeah.
Let's do something different this week to really give SK Nation something.
Let's do it.
Because the worst thing was at the very end of the show, and I'll explain it to everybody. There was a movie called Memento.
Okay.
And it started at the end and then progressed to the beginning. They also did a Seinfeld episode like that.
Nice.
So let's start at the end of Raw and work forward tonight.
All right.
But before we do that, what were you going to talk about? What you were going to do special for SK Nation?
Just have fun and clown as we do every week.
For them? Don't you usually ask them a question?
I do.
Or something? There you
I have
go.
I have a question. So the question of the week this week is, what is your best pro wrestling show theme song? Your best pro wrestling show theme song.
Pro wrestling show.
Yeah, I was just listening to Clash of the Champions during Raw.
Wow.
The theme song.
I wouldn't even know them, bro. I swear to God, I wouldn't even know them. I would have no idea, man.
Do you remember World Class's theme song?
Mm-mm.
It was just like I felt like I was listening to some big drum major. It was just like someone just beating the snot out of a.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I was
awesome.
a huge fan of World Class. World Class's theme is one of my favorites, actually. Yep. It was just like some big old. It just felt like someone just had like drumsticks, big old drumsticks. Boom, boom, boom. I feel like I was at some type of.
I can remember the Attitude Era Raw. That was pretty good. What were they saying? Do you know what they were saying?
Too much, Bob, and not enough. You know what? I'm about to look at the lyrics.
It sounds like you're saying too much Raw and not enough Raw. That's what it sounds like they're saying, but obviously they're not saying that, bro.
What year was that again?
Oh my God, had it be 97-ish?
Okay, let's look at the lyrics.
Too much war and not enough gore, maybe.
So Raw is war. Let me see. I gotta look at these. I gotta look at these lyrics now, man. This is fun.
Too much war, but not enough war.
This is fun. It's my life in the box and charred to be. Take a chalk in my arms, it's a soul in me. You want fire, ashes in me, lay face down. What has caused a thorn in your eye? There you go. It's 4 lines.
So what is it? What is it?
It's my life in the box and charred to beat. Taking chalk in my arms, it's the soul of me. You want fire, ashes, see me lying face down. What has caused the thorn in your eye?
What happened to too much Raw and not enough Raw? What happened to that? That's not in there anywhere.
It's my life, and let me see.
It would be the very last line, probably.
Yeah. Let's see. No, it was.
God, I would have never.
You want fire? Let me see. Yeah, it was. Your ashes see me laying face down.
I would have never known that in a million years.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, interesting.
Yep. Yeah, that was it. Just 4
Yeah,
lines.
interesting.
What has caused a thorn in your eye? I never knew that. 25 years later, I never
Yeah.
I never knew
Wow.
that.
Interesting. Interesting.
I never knew that. Yeah, but I remember that part. Too much something and not enough something.
Yeah.
SK Nation, do y'all remember that?
Yeah. Because I watch it every 2 weeks. I watch an hour of Attitude Era, and I hear it every week.
To maintain thorn in your eye. No, that was Slam Jam. Yeah. Slam Jam, thorn in your eye. Behind my eyes, arrogant and strength. I see my courage. Too much dark and not enough sky.
That's it. That's it right there. Too
Why
much
am I the thorn?
dark and not enough sky.
Why am I the thorn in your eye? Too much
That's
dark,
it. Yeah.
not enough sky.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it, bro.
I've lost again, but I gotta maintain too much dark and not enough sky. Why am I the thorn in your eye?
Do it in the voice, bro. Do it in the voice.
Yes, indeed.
Wait, bro. It's
Too much talk.
No, the other voice. The judgment day voice, bro. Come on.
I got you. I got you. I
Go
got
ahead,
you.
bro. Go ahead, Go ahead, Black Scorpion.
Too much dark and not enough sky. Why am I the thorn in your eye?
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Bro,
Thank you
aren't
very
we supposed to be reviewing Raw? What are we doing here, bro?
Why am I the thorn in your eye? That's much.
Bro, let's start with Memento. Let's start at the end because I got one very simple question. Think about this, bro. Why is the baby face crying after she lost the match to the heel?
Yes.
I have never seen that in my life.
The returning baby face, by the way.
The baby face Asuka crying after the heel beat her. That's a baby face? No, that's a crybaby. Crybabies are not baby faces. What do we do? Why is she crying after a loss, bro? Why?
I'm like, what exactly are we doing? Like 9-month return. And after 2 weeks, they got her crying. Like, how are they? I was looking at it's funny that you say that, Vince, because I was looking at all the heels that they have on Raw right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna name all the big heels that they have on Raw: Edge, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, Veer Mahan, Seth Rollins. I mean, there's in Omos.
Miz,
there's
I guess.
Cable
Miz,
and
Miz.
yeah, there's Miz, but I'm talking about like massive babyface
Well,
heels.
none of the ones you just named were massive.
So they're trying to book him as massive.
Yeah.
So you have Edge, Damian Priest, Omos, and Veer Mahan. All right. So those are the 4 like massive and Seth Rollins. Those are like the 5, heels that they're like building, And the baby faces that they have on Raw is being booked substantially worse than the heels are. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, WWE does such a poor job of really building baby faces, man. It seems like that's really what
bro, there's another thing at the end that I'm scratching my head. Why is Bianca Belair sitting ringside and not on headsets?
Yeah, not on headsets.
What? Like, she's the champion. That's her moment. And, that's her moment too, bro, to put both of those competitors over. Yep. If it's going to be a 3-way, it's going to be a heck of a match. Why is she not even on headsets?
Yeah.
What?
She's just there. She's just there.
I
Ringside
don't
seat. Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't get it, bro. I don't understand, bro.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, very, very,
Now
very.
Lashley beats MVP, and you thought this was going to be like a big pay-per-view match or something, didn't you? Didn't we talk a little bit about this last week?
Yeah, I mean, well, I thought that the build. I've been saying this for a few weeks. I thought that the build at the end of all this was going to be Lashley versus MVP as the payoff, but it just seems like another gimmick match, another match for Lashley and Omos. Why are we doing like all of these repeat matches from Raw? I mean, you have WrestleMania Backlash, and Hell in a Cell, 3 pay-per-views, and you're just seeing regurgitated matches over and over.
And it's not only that, Chris, but if we go back last week, the baby face technically won. So why are we coming back? The comeback is usually to give the baby face the win. He won that steel cage match, bro.
Yeah, and he won at WrestleMania.
So
So
now
he's
we're
won 2
bringing it
matches.
back, and we're bringing it back now with another stipulation. What's that going to be now?
Yeah. Same thing with Seth and Cody. Same thing with Seth and Cody. We start off with Riddle cutting a promo in the ring about Randy, and then this leads to a 6-man match with the baby faces winning. Riddle and Street Profits defeating Sami Zayn and the Usos. Now, man, Sami Zayn is just hilarious to me. To me, when I think of Sami Zayn, I think of someone who just like loves his spot and just to me, Sami Zayn plays a heel very well. He's just obnoxious. He's like an Andy Kaufman style heel to me. Just really obnoxious. And fans love to hate him, and people just don't like Sami Zayn. To me, that's the reason. That's what I love about heels. Like to me, it's true heels. If someone just don't like you, that's what I appreciate.
But here's the problem I have with it, Chris. And Chris, let me tell you flat out up front. I don't watch SmackDown at all. Until
Right.
somebody wants to pay me to watch SmackDown, I'm not watching it.
Mhm.
But I will say this. You just pointed out Andy Kaufman.
Mhm.
Okay. But bro, Andy Kaufman wasn't a wrestler that you would believe could beat other wrestlers.
Yeah.
And that's how I see Sami Zayn. He may be funny, he may be a hysterical heel and all that, but who is he a threat to? He doesn't
I
look
think
like a
that's
threat.
kind of the gimmick.
Huh?
Like I think that's kind of the gimmick. Like he doesn't win many matches nowadays. He lost to Drew, but like he kept running out. Like it was funny, man. Like catch SmackDown at least on Twitter or something, or watch like a 5-minute highlight or something like that, just to be abreast of what I'm about to say. Like Sami Zayn, he was feuding with Drew for a few weeks, and he kept during their matches, he kept leaving the ring and walking up to like the fifth row. It was hilarious, man. Like he just was playing. He's playing like an Andy Kaufman style heel. He doesn't win many
But don't
matches,
you still have to believe that he can beat somebody?
but the way that he cuts his promos, like he doesn't sound believable. Like he doesn't really. He lost to what the Johnny Knoxville, right, in the gimmick match. He tried to kind of prove his point again, like kind of prove his status again by going against the big person, in the locker room, which is Drew. And then he went against Drew. That ends up in a cage match because he kept leaving the match every week. So it was funny to see that. And then now he's like, he called himself the locker room leader. So that's the point of behind the blood, that's the point behind him being like a bloodline affiliate, because he called himself a locker room leader. I think this whole Sami Zayn thing, to me, is like, if you're gonna maximize your minutes and you're gonna milk it, at least do some type of comic relief. And to me, Sami Zayn doesn't seem believable as a champion, as a world champion. So right now he's playing like an R-Truth style, Andy Kaufman style gimmick that he's like,
But see,
losing
bro,
to me doesn't really matter. I'm getting a big paycheck.
see, that's the difference. I believe R-Truth can beat people because he looks like he can beat people. Sami Zayn doesn't look like he can beat anybody. And I see, bro, I guess the issue I'm having is lack of story. Because if he's supposed to be a professional wrestler and he can't beat anybody, then why does he have a contract and why is he there? Now if that was discussed, and if that was part of the storyline, if this guy's losing why does he have a spot on the roster? If that were part of the storyline and he, had was fighting for his life every week and had to be creative, whatever he had to do. But the fact that, like, I look at this guy and I'm like, why is he a professional wrestler if he doesn't look like he can beat anybody?
Yeah, I think Sami Zayn to me is someone who at least is maximizing his moments. People don't like Sami Zayn, and I love true heels. I think we're missing way too much of that in the business where people just don't like you. And I can't stand the split chance. I can't stand, like, if I was a heel in WWE, I would hate to be cheered because to me, I would want, at the end of the day, I would want to get as much heat as I possibly can. And then I would pay it forward. As a competitor, that's my goal. If I'm a heel, my goal is to pay it forward and get as much heat as I can to pass it on to the babyface.
But also part of heel heat, Chris, is beating people. That is part of the heat. So like I'm seeing and I'm hearing this comedy routine, but the guy can't beat anybody. So where's the heat?
Yeah. I think he's got like chicken crap heat. He has the, he plays like the chicken crap heel. Like, to me, like, MJF is like the obnoxious, cheap heat heel that actually, the cheap heat works because he has a heck of a promo. But for Zayn, to me, he's just like the chicken crap heel that people just love to hate. And I agree with the fact that there's no really payoff for someone like the Sami Zayn, in the WWE.
I mean, you're not going to get that big pop when somebody beats him. I mean, a person, here's a perfect example of what you're talking. Jeff Jarrett was that guy, but you also knew Jarrett could legitimately beat people. And when he did, that's how he would get more heat. Somehow, some way, he would come out with the victory and he would get more heat. If you look like a guy that literally can't fight your way out of a wet paper bag, I don't know where the heat comes.
Yeah, I think that.
Even Kaufman, you talk about, bro, he was beating women. That was the heat. That was the heat. He was beating women. So you wanted Lawler to kill him.
I think you should do that with Zayn.
Yeah, why not? I mean, something, you know what I mean?
Do it with Zayn. Like, have him be like, because there, the women's championship, the women's tag team championship scene is so deplete right now. There's only like 2 legit teams right now: Naomi and Shayna Baszler, and then Nikki ASH and Doudrop. They're trying to make a tournament out of 2 remaining teams, by the way. And I think Sami Zayn should be a part of that somehow. Like, he should just like start attacking people to, like, he's on a mission to, like, not even allow the women's tag team tournament to exist. And, like, he's confiscated the women's tag team champions.
Bro, and think about that though. And think about the you've got so much controversy now with transgender, men transgending into women and then competing against women. Bro, he could say that he decided he's going to become a woman, but he's saving up his money for the transformation. But in the meantime, listen, I'm already a woman at heart. I mean, bro, you could have, now that I get. But I don't get why are you on the professional wrestling roster if you can't beat anybody? Like, why are you there?
Yeah.
So, I mean, something like that would be great, man. They could have a lot of fun with that and be very creative,
That would be funny.
Yeah.
But we live in a society where, you might get heat for that.
Oh, of course, bro. Of course. Of course. God forbid. God forbid.
Indeed. Rolling with the 499 super chat, bro.
Yeah.
After Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan, the Saturday Superstar show used the Warriors music for the intro ECW Weekly Hardcore Revolution intro song. Nice. Thank you, Rollin, for your favorite pro wrestling theme songs. Very, very nice. What was the line thrown in your eye again? What was it again?
I don't remember. I already forgot.
Why am I the thorn in your eye? I never knew that. 25 years later, man. I never knew that. It's interesting that we started talking about that. That's super cool.
Yeah, very interesting.
So the Usos walk out of the match toward the end. I think, Vince, this is leading to there's a rumor of Riddle going against. I think this moment of like Riddle like kind of separating from Randy Orton and cutting a promo. Randy's home, and then Riddle getting the win. So it's rumored that Riddle is going to go against Roman Reigns to main event a stadium show at Money in the Bank in Vegas.
What's the deal with?
To me,
what's the deal with? What's the deal with Randy Orton?
Not much. I mean, he's rumored to go against.
No. I mean, why is he not on? I mean, is
nothing? Nothing. They just kind of sold the fact that they lost. He lost on Friday. They lost on Friday. I haven't heard anything
because that's what he was saying, that he had a hurt back or something like that. So I don't know what's going on. But bro, listen, if we told the story properly with Riddle as a UFC fighter, I mean, if we told that story out the gate, then you could make something of this. But without that story, I don't know what you have, man.
Yeah, I'm just not sold in Riddle being. I like Riddle, but I'm just not sold on him being a guy who can main event a stadium show against Roman Reigns. I just don't see it. I just don't see it, man. To me, he just reeks of, niche, upper mid card level. Not a main. They haven't really made him a main event star to me.
Yeah,
so,
bro, this was 37 minutes.
This whole thing was 37 minutes.
37 minutes.
Wow. We have the Almighty Challenge segment, and man, as much as I like Bobby Lashley, man, his promos are just cringe, man.
This was the old. You scared, bro? If you're scared, just say you're scared, bro.
Yeah, I just can't do it, man. Man, I really, really like Bobby Lashley. And the fans are behind him as far as his interest is concerned. But I've noticed a pattern as soon as he grabs that mic, and Lashley's never been a good promo guy. I've noticed in WWE and in TNA that he was much better. He felt a lot more comfortable cutting promos as a heel. I've noticed that in both WWE and TNA. As a babyface, it just seems like he is petrified at cutting promos.
Well, I could also tell you at TNA, he wasn't given promos that he had to get out word for word.
Yeah, that's true.
So he had a lot more freedom and was probably a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he was more relaxed in TNA. Dana Brooke and Becky Lynch have a backstage segment with Adam Pearce, and they've been kind of teasing this Brooke and Lynch thing. Do you think that there's anything to this?
I think she's going to wrestle Jerry Seinfeld and see who gets the right to wear the puffy shirt.
There you go.
That's what I think. That's where I think they're going with that.
I think that'll be a good culmination to this feud. I agree. I think Seinfeld's going to win the 24/7 championship.
What's with the what she's a pirate this week? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
I don't know. Her choice of attire is always head scratching, to say the least, Vince. We get a Judgment Day in-ring promo from
Well,
Judgment Day.
bro, how long though? They were standing in that ring forever between the
Boy.
commercials and the backstage stuff. Like, does anybody know how to format this show, bro? Those guys and Rhea Ripley was standing in the ring forever. That's the worst feeling in the world, bro.
Yeah. Being there live, they usually let me ask you this. Like back in 25 years ago in WWE, how would they fill in the time live when someone's going from segment to segment? How would they fill in that time?
Bro, there was never that length of time, bro. Never. Because what we would call it, Chris, I know we can't say certain things on this show, but you would never leave a talent with their hand on their you know what. And
Right.
what that means is they're standing out there forever waiting for all the other business because, bro, they did not like that. And they would point that out. Like they would point there out. If there was an entrance and then we were doing something, they would literally say, "Oh, so you're gonna leave me out there with my hand on my you know what?" You just didn't do stuff like that, bro. Because what happens now is they came out, on their entrance, the crowd responded. Now the crowd is going to be totally down 3 to 5 minutes. And now when they start talking, they got to get them up all over again, bro. That's horrible to put talent in a position like that, bro. Anybody would tell you that, man.
I noticed that a few times when Bianca Belair would come out.
They do it a lot, bro.
Mhm.
A lot. They do it, man.
They do.
Yes.
And when I've been there a lot live, and typically a lot of times when that happens, they dim the lights. The talent's just there. They dim the lights and they'll show something on the Titantron, like something charity related or something like that.
It's still the same thing, bro. Think about this. Think about an artist or a musician in concert. Okay. The Titantron and all that stuff, they will show that stuff before the talent comes out. So they'll do all that. Then the talent will come out. Paul McCartney will come out. Bro, imagine him standing there 5 minutes before he sings his first song.
Yeah.
No, bro. He comes out. They go crazy. He goes right into the song. Yeah. You're killing them here doing this to them this way.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
So we get a promo from Judgment Day, and man, it's just it's just the cheap heat seeking promos again.
It's
man.
Weird. It's really weird, bro.
Doesn't seem original at all. Vince.
Oh my god, it is so weird. It is so weird, man.
Yeah, and it just seems like Priest and Rhea Ripley, like they was seeking the cheap heat. Like they just I'm better than you. I wonder if like any of them has,
bro,
like listen to like MJF promos or something.
Bro, I'll go you one better. This is a fact. Bro, people would tell me when they would drive with Brian Pillman, okay? Pillman would be the passenger. Bro, all he would do was read books about serial killers.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
To get in that. Bro, that's what they need to do. Look at every movie. Watch Silence of the Lambs. Wherever there is a Ted Bundy, like wherever there are those deep, David Koresh, that's who you've got to be studying. Listen to what they're saying. Take their promos. Get in their mindset. That's what you need to be doing, not crapping on the hometown crowd. That's horrible, bro. I mean, you've got all week to get material. I mean, my God, bro, that's why Rock was great. Every time Rock showed up for TV, he had 10 new catchphrases, bro. Like literally every time he showed up, it was something new every time. What are you doing all week long that you can't do your research and, watch some stuff and read some books and get some ideas rather than this cheap heat, which is horrible, bro.
Yeah. Good point. I agree. I think that there's a lot of embodying, and even method acting, to an extent, I mean, just really getting and just really zoning in and honing into a particular character. If you want to be some dark, evil, villainous character, cheap heat isn't the way to really
Oh, boy.
polish a
No,
villainous dark purple character. You know what I mean?
no, no.
I don't get it. Good point. I think all of them should watch like Pillman promos. Especially like
Watch,
the ECW ones. It was
yeah. Bro,
gold.
watch Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt never
Yeah.
got cheap heat with the audience ever, bro. It was always original material. Always, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Aleister Black was good too.
He was good. He
He
was
was
good. Yes, he was. Yep. Yep.
Yep. So Aleister Black, Bray Wyatt, Brian Pillman, you had maniacal characters, you know, before you that you can watch tape of. Watch tape. I mean,
Right.
Vince, like how much I know Triple H would always talk about how much he would watch, Ray Stevens, Nick Bockwinkel, what I mean? Like he would just watch a bunch of tape. And how important it is from what based on knowing people in the business, is that even a thing anymore when it comes to
No,
really
not at
studying a
all. No,
character?
not it, bro. I would study people's writing.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, bro, not at all. There's no art to that anymore, bro. That art form is gone. It is
No.
gone, bro.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. Absolutely horrible. We get Judgment Day beating so Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest defeating Morgan and Styles. Like, are they like really trying to are they like over trying to baby like AJ and Liv Morgan because they're like getting like the disadvantage every single week. So are they really trying to work this chase for them, or is it
Well,
just
see,
bad
bro,
book?
that's so funny because we've been talking about this every week. We've been talking about this, three of them now, and they're staying ringside and they're getting involved in the match. And how bad is it, bro, when later on in the show you're going to have a referee throw Otis and
Right.
what's his face
And
out?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Like, does that make any
Good
sense
point.
to anybody? So those guys get thrown out, but Edge and Rhea Ripley get to stay. That's what I'm talking about, bro. There's no rhyme or reason, or none of this stuff is thought out, bro.
And Finn Balor saved AJ this last week and all the other weeks, but he just changed his mind this week.
That's what
Is
I
that it
said.
is?
I'm like, where's Balor?
Yeah.
What?
No Finn. I'm saying, man, I think they keep downplaying Finn Balor being a member of Judgment Day, and I think he's going to be a member. I keep saying
And
it every
and
week.
you know what? Whoopee.
Yeah,
Nobody will care, bro. Nobody
and
will
that's
care.
the thing, Vince. Like, I think that the Judgment Day should spend so much time being really maniacal characters and really building up the mystery of who's going to be the next person.
Yeah.
That is buzzworthy. That's who's going to be. That's the headlines. That's the talk of many shows. Like, who's going to be the next one? They're sowing seeds. They're kind of doing some rabbit trails and some Easter eggs, so to speak. And so that should be really the angle behind Judgment Day, not just cutting cheap heat every week and
And not
feuding
just
with
having and not
variations of
just yeah, and not
Styles
just
and
having
Balor.
and not just having matches.
Yeah, right, exactly.
There's got
Not
to
just
be more to it than that, bro.
yeah,
There's got to be
absolutely.
more levels than that, bro.
100%, man. 100%. It's variations of AJ, Liv, and Finn and cutting cheap heat promos. Like,
Yep.
that's Judgment Day in a
Yep.
nutshell. And
That's
and
it.
how is that going to cause us to be intrigued of what's next for Judgment Day? I just don't get it, man. And for someone as good of a mind as Edge is, and such a legend like Edge is, it's kind of surprising that he doesn't have enough pull, or doesn't it doesn't seem like he's showing enough feedback or giving his opinion on it. Is he just kind of taking what the WWE is giving him, or do you think some of this is original from him?
I can't imagine it's original because there's nothing original. There's
No,
nothing.
it's
It's
not. I
not
agree.
like we're saying the material is bad, bro. It's cheap heat.
It is.
I mean that's what it is. There's no substance here whatsoever, bro.
Yep. Yep. Indeed, Vince. King's Court, Veer Mahan. Veer talks for the first time, man. There you go. What do you think, man?
What's the twitch? He had a little twitch going on. What do you think? He's nervous. He's got Tourette's. What's
Yes,
going on with this guy,
yes.
bro? With the
He
twitching.
was nervous, man. It was his first time, man. He was nervous to talk in public. That was his kryptonite. You know how Zeus back in the day of No Holds Barred, like
Yeah.
he was huge, man. He was going around, oh, right. Everybody was scared of Zeus, right? He was just Zeus. I remember doing that when I was a kid, and so he was in bars beating up people, and his kryptonite was getting hit between the eyes, and finally Rip realized the kryptonite, and he fell like a tree, man. And I think the kryptonite for Veer is public speaking.
Yeah. Well, bro, very weird choice to do a King's Court, which a lot of people there have no idea what this is because we're
Correct.
going back 25, 30 years. That's number one. Number two, very strange to do a King's Court and not get heat on Lawler. And I don't expect you to get heat on Lawler, having a heart attack and, all that stuff. But what's the point of a King's Court if the heel isn't going to get heat by getting to Lawler?
Yeah. He could have done something. I mean, Lawler competed several dozens of matches after his heart attack. So
When's the last time though? Like when's the last time he did something physical?
He's wrestled in Memphis. I mean,
Really?
he's wrestled up to probably a couple of years ago. I know that
I don't
him
understand why you wouldn't get heat on Lawler.
yeah, I mean he I think I know Dundee still wrestles.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Lawler still wrestles, like as of probably a year ago. So
Then I don't understand that. What's the point of the King's Court? I don't understand that for Veer to say, I don't think your jokes are funny.
Yeah, exactly. His first public speaking was a flop. March the 25th was Lawler's last match.
Wow. So 3
He
months.
wrestled March 19th, like 2 months ago.
Well,
March 19th,
wow.
January 22nd, December 18th. Yeah, he wrestles like once to twice a month.
Yeah, bro. What about Veer tried to throw Mysterio over the top rope and almost killed him? that was like, come on, bro. You gotta.
He just kind of slid down like a waterboard, man.
Oh my gosh! Whoa, that was crazy. Yeah,
it was horrible, man. Next we have Alexa Bliss cutting a backstage promo saying it's good to be back, and then defeating Nikki ASH. Just a flash to me. I didn't get anything from this, Vince.
It didn't mean anything. Didn't mean anything for either one of these two. Literally, this was to fill 10 minutes on the show.
And they used to be, the gimmick was, the angle was they used to be best friends, and that was it. Like no build to that at all, just a regular match that Nikki ASH lost. Yeah. And I thought the Doudrop was supposed to be changing her gimmick like weeks ago. When she came back, she was like, "Are you serious now? Are you done playing?"
And we've done it for 3 weeks in a row. She's the same
thing. Yes, she's the same exact character. So very interesting. Seth Rollins cuts a backstage promo, and Asuka cuts one too. I just like people were hearing, like I heard boos from the crowd when Asuka's cutting promos now. It just, how is this helping her as a character? I just don't understand how WWE had just money on the table with her character being undefeated from NXT, and then they bring her in, and then she just feels like everybody else. Why do they have such a problem having like a Killer Cross, for instance?
Yeah,
NXT was the man, comes in, just kind of blends in with everybody else. What is their deal with that?
Bro, they're not putting the time and the proper attention into every talent. That's
Yep.
what it is in a nutshell.
Yep.
I mean, bro, when we were doing those shows, and I hate to keep going back to that, but D'Lo Brown was doing something on the show to help him get over. Every single character was doing something on the show. They're putting zero time.
Yep.
Bro, and you got NXT, and they're just going to keep shuffling the next person in and the next person and the next person, and they're not spending any time developing anybody, bro.
No, it's horrible. Yeah, and then she's talking about Becky Lynch crying, but just that terrible green goo coming down every.
Man. I
It
don't
makes
get
it look like she's crying every week.
terrible, man. Terrible.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes defeats the Miz by DQ because of an interference from Seth Rollins. Another countdown to Cody, Vince. When is this?
And they did the same exact thing last week.
Yeah. When is this, like, how much time is it going to take for the fans to start turning on Cody?
Not long, bro. Not long at all.
Yeah, I agree. It just I don't see the purpose of this. Do they think, does WWE think that Cody is such a hot sell that the countdown is going to keep people either watching or at least coming back at 10 o'clock?
I was actually reading an article the other day where somebody was trying to say that the countdown worked because the second hour was higher than the first hour and this and that and the other thing. Bro, the bottom line is, even if it works for a week or 2 weeks, okay, you're shoving the guy down everybody's throat.
Yeah.
And people don't like that. And when you start doing that, they start turning on you. Everybody knows that. It's almost like, bro, he's the shiny new toy and they don't have any other toys. I mean, that's pretty much what it seems like. He's the new guy. He's the shiny new toy, and there's nobody else. Seriously, compared to AEW, where it's somebody new every week, it's overkill.
Yeah. It's true. It's two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely,
it's
man.
not enough, in WWE, and too much in AEW.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no balance. Yeah. One good thing I did like Cody's gear. Cody's gear looked really, really nice today. So that was pretty cool. So gotta put something over here, and I thought his gear was pretty nice. So MVP defeating Bobby Lashley by countouts, and I guess this leads to MVP and Omos creating a stipulation for Lashley for their match. So this is it.
Yeah. And they don't even try to build up. They don't even try to build up or tease what that stipulation is. It should have been a big deal. And now they won it. And okay, well, so what is it? I don't know.
Indeed. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes no sense to me, Vince, but clearly they think that this is going to be exciting enough and intriguing enough to bring people in to see what the stipulation
is. Bro, tell me it's not going to be a handicap match.
That actually would not surprise me.
Yeah.
Yep. I think we're going to have a Chamber of Horrors match. Yes, indeed.
Coal miner's glove, bro.
Coal miner's glove, baby. Yes.
Yes.
Robertson Sting, baby. Coal miner's glove.
Spin the deal. Spin the wheel. Make the deal, bro.
Spin the wheel. Make the deal. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wasn't that a Bischoff creation?
No, that was way before his time. That was Bill Watts.
Was that Watts?
Oh yeah.
Real? Are you sure?
I'm positive. I was at that
was
show.
Halloween Havoc.
I was at that show. Bill Watts was running the company then.
Halloween Havoc was the spin the wheel make a deal was what, 93?
It might have been before that, bro. Might have been 91.
Because Roberts was gone for a hiccup.
Yeah.
I think it was 93. Because 92 he was still feuding with The Undertaker. He left for a little bit after that.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah,
might have been
it was definitely on Watts' dime.
Yeah. Bischoff was a commentator at that time? When he
probably
was he still with AWA?
I'm not sure. I can't remember that far back.
Spin the wheel, make the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was 92 Halloween Havoc.
92. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watts was around. Watts was in charge or Hurd?
Definitely. No, bro, I know without a shadow of a doubt. I was at the show and I remember Watts walking past me. Like
Oh, okay.
without
Nice.
a shadow of a doubt, I know that was Watts's baby.
When did Hurd take over?
Don't know. Don't know.
Okay, wait a minute. Now I'm trying to figure out the timelines for all this. Okay, Hurd was around 91 because Flair left because of the Hurd stuff.
So yeah, Watts probably followed.
Yeah. So because he wanted Flair to be Spartacus or something like that and cut his hair. And so Flair came in 91. The real world champion came in 91, late 91, and then he won the Royal Rumble of 92.
Right.
And
right.
yeah, so and then he won the title and then lost to Brett, I believe, in Saskatchewan or something like that at a house show. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so Hurd 89 and 91. Jake went to WCW right after Mania versus Taker, though. So 92. Yeah, I thought it was 92. Right after that Mania. Cool. Becky Lynch defeating Asuka. I think that this was to me, it was pretty evident that they're going to do this. Just a bunch of weird spots during the match. I don't know if you noticed that I don't know if you noticed this, Vince, but Asuka, when she rode in for the count out, like she just laid there. She just sat there for probably about a good full second. And then like after she kicked Bianca Belair and then she was coming back in, she rode in and just laid there for about a good second because Becky wasn't at her cue yet. So she just laid there. It was so super weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
But
and
what do you
bro,
think about this match?
that's what you do too. Like, just so much of the psychology is lost, bro. If you barely make the 10 counts and you're hurt, you barely make it. The whole idea is to roll in so the referee stops the count and roll out again. To get your breath and to get your win back. That's the whole idea. Roll in, break the count. As soon as he has to start over, roll back out. You don't roll in if you're dead and you could be pinned.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's stuff like that, bro, that like they're so beyond stuff not making sense. If this were real. If this were real, you'd break the count and you'd roll out again, and then the babyface would go out and get you. I don't know, bro. But I don't understand a babyface crying because they lost the match. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Agreed. You know what else is real, Vince?
What's real? What is that?
Stain.
Oh my God.
Of Sting. Yes. My disdain of Sting is real.
Oh
you want to talk about crying? Asuka, I'm coming for you next week. I'm really going to make you cry next week, Asuka.
Oh my
when
God.
you get it hold and when you see the Black Scorpion.
Bro, that's scary, bro. Very nice. Very nice. My favorite part of the show.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
The Black Scorpion I was petrified of Black Scorpion. I loved it was a big flop to a lot of people. And I agree because I love whodunit angles. I love whodunit angles. To me, a whodunit angle is like textbook episodic television or building up a story. I love whodunit angles. And the Black Scorpion was a whodunit angle that I really wanted to sink my teeth in. And then they did the weird magic tricks and the confiscating the female, and then giving clues every week, and then you having a doppelganger, and then Al Perez was one of the one of the Black Scorpions, and then at the end of the day, I remember this. At the end of all of this, the one behind the Black Scorpion mask was none other than Ric Flair. And I was just like, what? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Like, I was so disappointed, man. I was disappointed. So I think he could have really built up a new star, like like a Rick Rude or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
he was a new star, but just like he could have like debuted, I mean, they could have done some type of like a debuting character, or somebody
Yeah.
else was coming from WWE, when they did. Then they do that with Rude, like he was part of the Dangerous Alliance and he was dressed in something, and then like I think it was Medusa maybe who was like uncovered him or something like that.
I don't remember.
So yeah. But I think he could have really worked out. But who was behind the voiceover?
You know who was doing this for the Black Scorpion?
Mm-mm.
Oli.
Oh, was he really?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. Yeah.
Indeed. Let them know about the brand, my man.
Channelattitude.com, bro. Just go there and you'll see all the plethora of shows that we have, and hopefully you'll subscribe and support us.
Very nice. Very nice. Follow this guy at the Vince Russo. Go to channelattitude.com. You see that right down there at Chris Prolific. Go follow me at Chris Prolific. And if you follow me at Chris Prolific, maybe I'll give you more clues of who the Black Scorpion is. So
Very nice.
So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this guy's Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris. This is the Legion of Raw. Have a good night, everybody. Solo!